to do. Thank you. Don't know why you don't like to work for me when I'm doing stuff, but okay. It'll be interesting to see how this behaves during the following week. What we're looking for this, I'm a little behind schedule getting up tonight. No, I mean, a lot of my stuff's coming up around 11:30 these days. That's partly to do with work, but the project for the week is to be my homage video. So what I need to do for this is I think there's another room that I can use here that would be a better visual. And I'm thinking about seeing if I could do some test run of a green screen approach. So I have the green poster board that I was going to use before. I might get a few more pieces of them and do the taped seams along the back side, and then see if I can put that up behind me in another room without all this behind me, and get a green screen going. And then on top of that, what I'm hoping to be able to do is test out the recording with this green screen and potentially OBS, not as a live stream, but potentially as a recording of video, because I want to be able to switch between maybe a couple camera angles and just sort of test some of that out. I may see what I can do for overlays for like a lower third or a sidebar with OBS. If I can't get OBS to work with me, like it's resisted in the past. If I can't get it to cooperate with me for what I'm trying to do with it, I should be able to do a recorded video edited in my editing software that I use. So I have to design up the lower third sidebar graphics and see if I can green screen a background in that would be more interesting. And the format I want to do for this coming week, that's sort of what I want to kind of bang out right now, see if I can figure that out. Do I have a writing implement on me? That's sort of, there we go, haha. So what we want to try to do is the format that I'm looking to try to do for this week's video project is to do a opener with a lower third and then a sidebar with the indicators of what's coming up in the episode, followed by individual story elements with a little thing in the middle for other little projects of note, and then back to a couple more stories, and then a closer with a graphic at the end indicating some of the other kinds of things going on the channel. So I got to see if I can work out those this week. The important ones to really work on here, see if I can pull up my laptop. The difficulty with doing digital notes is you have to turn on your notebook and get it up and running to actually access what you're doing. Nope. There we go. Now, can we find the file? That's pretty fast. It's working for me right now. All right, so okay, so what do we got? Where are we? No, those are t-shirt designs. That's something else. And I do need to work on seeing if I can get some of those projects that I've done already up on websites or Patreon or for sale. sites, shopping sites like Etsy or whatever, as a kind of link to kind of item. So where is documents? No, no, no. Miscellaneous, no. Is that what I think it is? Probably not. Oh, it might be. That might be it. No, that's not it. Okay, so let's see. Is top story of the week is going to be a book, so it's a top story. All right, so I have to figure out what book or short story. Book or short story I'm going to do. And then the next story is going to be the story of a movie or episode. And then into brought to you by my channel and some of the things I've done. And then an art thing potentially. A secret recipe of the day. And then maybe a topic of the board game or health topic, and then follow that with the closer. I might trim that a little bit. I might do I might just do that middle segment just as my projects and a secret recipe of the day, and then move some of the art and board game stuff as the last two. And next month I can go into more of the remaining categories that I haven't covered in this month. So that might be a little bit easier. I don't want to overload a single episode that I'm working on. So I'm going to start out with opener, book, movie, brought to you by, and then secret recipe of the day. And then video games, board games. Let's do video game, board game, and closer. And streamline that a little bit. And that leaves it so that next month we can do, see, that's book, movie, taste test, video, and board game. So that's 5 out of my 8 categories. Next month we can do a 3. So it'll be art, which is the theme of the next one anyway. And brought to you by, and then we have to do, that leaves us with, we could probably do music. If we do art and music in the same one. Products, could be the brought to you by next month. And then we've got video games. We got board games. What are we missing? Did we get it all? Books, movies, board games, product, taste test. Art or music, video games, and then health and well-being. So yeah, it's health and stuff next month. All right, that gets all the categories covered over the next couple weeks. Book, movie, my stuff, secret recipe of the day. I might just do, let's see, what were we going to do for depending on what we review, I might bump a video game or a board game over to next month too. I might do the board game. Okay, board. Just brainstorming out loud here. I'm sure it's scintillating content for a video. So this way I have a nice even distribution and it won't make the video run overly long. So basically I'll do my usual layout of book, movie. I will swap out taste test for product and then video game with a brought to you by my content in the middle. So basically these are going to be in the format of reviews essentially. So I need to figure out what book or short stories I'm going to review and do the same thing for a movie or a program. And then video game to review also. And then a taste test or something else for the recipe of the day. So, and then fill that in. Oh, like the other thing I really need to work on is the artwork for the lower third and the sidebar for these. So the opener is going to need a lower third and a sidebar. The book, movie, and video game are going to need pop-up graphics. And I'm going to figure out which one of those I'm going to do. So I'm going to try to crash course myself through a bunch of that this week so that I have something to review for each of those. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do about a recipe for the week. But the big things are the artwork for the videos, green screening, setting it up in the other room, recording it with either OBS or a more laborious recording process that would then be run through my editor program. I am my editor. The editor program is what I'll be running it through. It'd be nice to have a on-staff editor, but I don't have a staff. I am my staff. So I have to do that. And then the brought to you by, I want it to be the interactive audio games. So I'm going to figure out where to post those. I may just do them here on YouTube for starters and see if I can figure out how to do the connected link. And maybe see if I can open up like a SoundCloud or something else where people could download the game. I don't know. I'll figure that part out. But that's one of the big things to do this week. So artwork review. I've mainly got a script. I mean, this is going to be more scripted than I usually do too. So I'm going to have to work on a script. I've got a sense of what I need to do script-wise for the opener, the brought to you by, and the closer, because it's as an homage video. I'm sort of modeling after the person that I'm doing the video of. But that gives me the format to put it in. It doesn't tell me what to say about the individual things that I'm doing. So it doesn't tell me what to say about what book. I'm not, cribbing somebody else's notes on that. And so I got to figure out what movie. Well, I can go through my to watch list on Amazon and Netflix and find a movie in there that I can just pull out, and I actually might even have one on YouTube to watch list. So I'll take a look through there and find a movie. A video game that I can do a story on. Actually, hang on. I think I have in one of the things that I was doing earlier today. I was getting ready for some meetup with a friend to do some tabletop gaming stuff. Went and dug through a drawer with some of my stuff in it. I think I found some of my old gaming systems. Hang on. Okay, so that's... Okay. Okay, this is kind of funny. We'll have a look at see what we got in here. These are some old Game Boy games. Game Shark, Pokemon Emerald version, Dragon Warrior 1 and 2. Oh, I loved those games when I was younger. Pokemon Silver. I might do something with Pokemon, honestly. I think that has enough of a fan base still that I could probably do that. Ooh, Mortal Kombat too. X-Men Mutant Wars. I don't remember that game. Oop, but I do remember Spider-Man and the X-Men, the game for Game Boy. So, I think I'll set Mortal Kombat aside, Tetris aside. I'll take a look at both of the X-Men games. Dragon Warrior, I just want to pull out Dragon Warrior, honestly, because now I want to play it. But Pokemon, I don't think I ever did much with the Pokemon Emerald. Do I have? I might give that a shot. Let's see. So I think that'll probably be my game. That's for Game Boy Advance. So I might give that a play. And then sort of give it a review, a short review on Simple Play. Got the silver. Okay, that's... Now I'm going to play with all of these when I'm done tonight. That's what I need. One more distraction to work on. All right, so I think I will do the Pokemon Emerald exploration, probably. So I can pull up my movie list and see what I'm going to do for that. What do we got? So, hop on over to Netflix. Actually, let's hit YouTube first and see what I got on my to-watch list that I haven't gone there. I feel like let's do watch later. Nope. That's not what I asked you for. Okay, there we go. Watch later. Come on. Okay, so we got the bottom of this list. We have a stack of movies. Oh, hey, forgot about that one. Tomorrowland. I haven't seen the new Star Treks either. Total Recall. Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. I have not seen Justice League or Wonder Woman. I wanted to watch Valerian, Blade Runner 2049. There's one called Every Day that's still more expensive than I want to do. Oh, no Impact Man. And there was also Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You that were on my list to watch. I'm kind of curious. I think for the format that this will be on, No Impact Man might be worth doing. That's a sort of a documentary, and it's not a reaction-worthy movie or anything, really. It's not something you get to see my oohs and ahs to. So I think as something I wanted to watch that isn't a reactable movie, I think that may be the way I end up going. So I think I'm going to chunk that one on there. And I've probably misplaced my writing implements, haven't I? Probably. Probably. There it is. Haha. Okay, so let's do the No Impact Man. Video game will be Pokemon Emerald. And book or short story. I'll have to figure that one out in the meantime. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that just yet. I mean, I've got a few that I want to read in the near future, but I also want to do them a little bit differently than that. So maybe go with a nonfiction work, maybe a new one, maybe one that's trending on Google. And then secret recipe of the day. Figure that one out. So let's do a what's trending in books these days. Not that books do a lot of trending these days, which is disappointing. Google Trends. Books. I never get this to work the way I want it to. What do we got? Why are you telling me that? Green Book. Project Blue Book. Michelle Obama. I'm not going to read Game of Thrones in the next 3 days all the way through. I do not have the energy for that. Green Book trailer. Nope. Let's just try this. I think this is one of the other things that we tried to do once before that drove me kind of crazy. Was are we kidding? That's got to be a really hilarious joke there. Okay. Okay. You know, getting a recommendation of what books to read turns out to be hard. Because it really looks like there's not much of interest to me out there right now. And I'm not going to be able to quick order anything, so it's got to be something accessible. I got to find a good book that's worth doing a review for in the next few days, I guess, is the goal. And read it and make it the first story of the day. Find a good recipe worth trying to make. And reference it in a link. Or make a recipe and then make a separate video for that. It seems like a lot of extra work, but I might just do it. Okay, the best kind of people, a beautiful, terrible thing. All right, so what was my, let's see if I can pull up my Amazon wish list here. If I crack in an order and get a 2-day delivery, it could be here earlier in the week. So let's pull up my books, my book wish list. Oh, you know what? I have an Amazon Kindle. If I can find the right one on Kindle, I could probably pull that right up quick. That's not a bad way to go. Okay, so those are... No. No. Some nonfiction. Some art books. So those aren't particularly the best. Some writing books. I did want to read Mr. Strauss's work. So let's see. No, I do want some of those books, but these are not all very good for doing a story on the book. Okay, a lot of these are DIY and how-tos. So I'm going to peruse my list when I'm not being distracted by making a video. I'm sure there's one on here that would be worthwhile pulling up and doing the first story on. And I feel like if I could find the right one that's, at least somewhat topical about what's going on right now, that would be ideal. It turns out to be a little harder to do than one would first think. With all the data that we're collecting in the world right now, you'd think we'd be able to collect data on what the important things are. But turns out there's a lot of background noise about what the thing they want to sell that week is. But, okay, I think we basically, other than the recipe in the book for the week, have everything we need to figure out. Now I've just got to watch the movie, play the game, script up a story response to them, read the book, whatever book it is, make the recipe or the instructions on how to make the recipe as a separate video, and then make the stories for those, or the links for those. Then the opener, the mid-roll, and the closer for the video, and then I should be good. I need to set up and do a little practice with the camera tomorrow in another room, maybe with a little bit of green screen going on. We shall see. I don't know what I'll be able to pull off with a green screen. If I do end up using a green screen for it, I may see if I can sign up for a free trial of stock footage websites and see if I can get like a stock background. And I think that's everything I need to try to do for this week. That's sort of the goal, is to really try to do, it's using the format of an existing YouTuber who's well known, that if I do it right, could cover an entire month's worth of creative concepts in a 15 to 20 minute video. It's a very tight editing, and it's going to be reviews. It's not going to be any of the creative prompts based off of them. So, I mean, it's half as much work as I would normally do in a month, but actually a quarter, because I'm only doing half of the categories. It's still going to be a lot of work to get one video to do 4 videos worth of work. 5-ish, 6-ish. Anyway, that's sort of the brainstorming portion of this tonight. I'm hoping to be able to sort of give an example of it tomorrow, and I'm hoping to be able to do that potentially with, I don't know, we've had bad luck with OBS before trying to live stream with it. But if I can get it to cooperate just a little bit, that would be ideal. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. We may have a little bit of an issue with that tomorrow. So I will hold off. I might do that as a separate addendum to tomorrow night's video. I might just do tomorrow night's video sort of like this, talking about what I've been working on. And then afterwards do a second follow-up video where I discuss the actual steps that I'm going through and whether or not I'm going to go with the OBS approach or the edited video after the fact. I think that's where I'm going to call it here tonight. So thanks for joining me. I hope I have something interesting to show you tomorrow, and I hope we get some interesting work done this week. I'm really excited to see if I can get this to work out by the end of the week. I don't know if this is a pattern of video making that I will do again, but I may take some lessons from it in the future. All right, so I'm going to call it there. Thanks for joining me, and I will catch you in the next video, which I think I actually have to do a couple tonight to catch up where I'm supposed to be on the short stories. So, without further ado, take care and have a good night. And boom, boop, 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 bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum.